Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and this is episode 17 of On the Tube. So, I've been keeping this up for a while now, talking about the different shows that I've been watching over the past weeks, and this week I only have a couple of shows to talk about, and the big one is Brooklyn Nine-Nine, as based off of the last week, I think I talked about season 3 and 4, and now I'm done the show. And I absolutely love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm a huge fan of Michael Schur, and when I found out that he actually was a part of this, I got so much more excited to start the show. And these last 3 seasons of the show, now that I'm caught up, take the characters in a lot of new directions and mature them in a lot of ways, especially Jake and Amy at the center. And seeing them get married and advance their relationship was really powerful and meaningful, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the show. And moving into trying to have kids. And of course the show has those running gags of like Jake's parents popping up, like his dad, and Doug Judy, of course, and adding not only Doug Judy in these every season episodes, but actually adding his sister Trudy Judy, who's a lot of fun as well. But Craig Robinson's always a fun time coming back to the show. And specifically, the heist episodes are a lot of fun as always, and they keep getting bigger and more elaborate and sharing love. And one of the things I really appreciate about the show is the fact that so many of the characters get a lot of love. And in these later seasons, it feels like that Jerry and Donna from like Parks and Rec, that Scully and Hitchcock get expanded roles, and you get to appreciate them as characters because they're really funny, and you get their backstory, and it's absolutely absurd, and it's a lot of fun. And one of the main characters, like Gina, played by Chelsea Peretti, she leaves the show, and you don't realize until she's gone how much of a linchpin she plays in looking at the absurdity of each of the characters. So her character's missed, but you do get to spread some love. I was afraid in the most recent season, season 7, that they're adding this new character, Debbie, who I really didn't like and was kind of ridiculous. And that's saying something for the show, but it turned out to be only a couple episode arc. The biggest thing that I have against the most recent season is, weirdly enough, it's only 13 episodes, and I wish there was more. Because this show feels like it really capitalizes as having those different cases and different gags, but also taking the time to have a central story or conflict that does spread out over time and build tension. This season really didn't feel like it had that. The past couple ones dealing with the new commissioner causing problems for the 9-9 in like season 6, those are really important, and I appreciate those building up stories and where they lead and always bringing in a nice hook into the next season. But in general, I love this show, and I'm going to be really excited as I watch to see what season 8 brings, and it's going to be very unique, especially with everything going on. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine takes on serious issues in such a poignant way, and it reminds me of The Good Place a lot in the way that it's able to take those important themes and do something mature with them in the framework of this absurdist comedy. And I really appreciate that, and I want to see what they deal with now that our country's perspective on police is changing a lot, and it's interesting to see what's going to happen with that. Now, the one show that I did watch the first season of this week was Boardwalk Empire, and this has been something that's been flying around in my mind for a while because a lot of people speak very highly of it. I've also heard some people say it was kind of a letdown for them, boring, so I wasn't dying to go check out Boardwalk Empire, but a few people recently had been recommending it, so I figured I'd give it a try. And the fact that like Martin Scorsese was involved in this, he directed the pilot, and it captures the period very, very well. It really has that gangster feel, and it's like American Peaky Blinders, except with a lot less flair. Peaky Blinders has a lot of flair and style, and I love that about it. And a very brash tone. This feels a lot more reserved in nature, and there's a lot of talking. Like the 12 episodes and hour-long episodes felt a little bloated to me. There's way too many characters for you to keep track of and want to feel connected to. Because like some of the characters, like Michael Pitt's wife, his character, she gets her own whole story arc and everything, and it kind of felt like I don't need this other character arc for me to keep track of, because there's so many characters in this, but so many of them are interesting, and at the very core you have Steve Buscemi, who gives a fantastic performance as this kind of kingpin of Atlantic City, and this budding relationship he has with Kelly MacDonald's character, who isn't just some damsel and mindless woman. She challenges him, and it's very interesting, and their developments and what he reveals about himself over the course of this first season, and then his relationship with his brother, played by Shea Wingham, and of course you have Michael Shannon, who's as tense as always as his treasury officer, and there's Al Capone, there's Rothstein, and like Stephen Graham and Michael Stuhlbarg give great performances. There's great performances across the board. Jack Houston gives a very interesting supporting role in this first season, and I heard that he gets expanded role as the show goes on. I will be continuing to watch it over time. I don't love Boardwalk Empire, but I feel like it's such that high quality filmmaking that HBO's known for. And the tricky thing is, like, I've been watching on HBO Max, have to watch it on my laptop or my phone because they don't have it on Roku yet. So I've been watching it on my laptop for the most part, but I've been enjoying it, and I'm interested to see where it goes. And the last show that I have to talk about this week is Cake. And this is this strange variety show, sketch comedy that's on FX. And I watched the first season because I kept seeing ads for the troll. And it's like this troll getting either interviewed or like having a counseling kind of appointments and stuff like that. And it's like, this is a skit from Cake. And I'm like, that's weird. It must be the second season because I didn't see any of those yet. But the first season, it feels like Adult Swim, except for FX. And there's this running gag of really, really uncomfortable situational comedy that there's one particular gag that got me so bad, and I couldn't handle it. It was so absurd, so crazy over the top. But in general, I enjoy this. I enjoy the show a bit. And there's this running thread of this young man who has all these relationship issues, and you see his skits, and they're a lot of fun, and it's just very odd. And I think it might turn a lot of people off, but I get enough enjoyment out of it to keep watching, and they're like 22 to 25 minute episodes. There's 8 episodes in the first season. It's not something that's going to be taking a ton of your time. But didn't watch a whole lot this week. Well, I did watch like 3 whole seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But in general, those were the shows that I got to check out this week. So if you want to talk about any of those shows, leave a comment below. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.